The night air trembled with horsepower. Out here, away from the polished showroom lights and the staged car commercials. This is where legends are made. This is where muscle cars roar like beasts from another era, and supercars slice the air like precision-built missiles. The line was drawn. On one side, American muscle raw, thunderous, built to dominate. On the other, European and Japanese supercars refined. This wasn't just a race. It was a full-scale war of philosophy, design, and sound, and we captured every second. The first matchup was a '69 Camaro. SSNA McLaren 7-OS1 was a steel tank with a small block V8 that could shake the pavement loose. The other, a lightweight carbon fiber rocket with twin turbos and active aerodynamics. You'd think the Camaro didn't stand a chance. But when it launched, its back tires clawed the asphalt like a wild animal. The McLaren disappeared down the line, smooth as butter. No wheel spin, no noise but the turbo whistle. But the Camaro, angry, on the edge was the one that stole everyone's breath. Smoke towered above the cars, flames licked out of the exhaust tips. The burnout lasted so long, people started backing up and did a perfect 360 spin through the smoke tires, screeching, revs bouncing, the V8 howling like a banshee. The place went insane. Someone shouted, "That's not racing, that's art." And honestly, they weren't wrong. He built it in his parents' garage over 2 years, blowing up 3 engines and maxing out every credit card he had. But tonight, he lined up next to a Lamborghini Evo like he belonged. And maybe, just maybe, he did. The lights dropped. The Mustang's tires spun violently for the first 60 feet. But once those turbos lit up, the thing pulled like a freight train. It kept its composure, digging in with a WD and walking away on the top end. But the crowd didn't care. They cheered for Tyler like he won. Because in a way, he did. He brought a street-built beast to a supercar fight and walked away with respect. Then, out of nowhere, came the sleeper, a beat-up 2004 Honda Accord. Dents on the doors, faded paint, steel wheels. Everyone laughed. Until he popped the hood. A K24 engine. Turbo the size of a soccer ball. Pushing 700 horsepower on ethanol. No one saw it coming. He lined up next to a brand new Corvette C8 and completely annihilated it. Gapped it by at least 2 car lengths. Everyone went silent. Then the screaming started. People ran to the car, demanding to know what was inside. That's what makes nights like this legendary. You never know what's hiding under the hood. After that, it turned into a burnout war. First up was a wide-body Shelby GT500. It revved so loud the ground vibrated. The driver dumped the clutch and lit the tires up instantly. The rubber disintegrated. Smoke poured out in sheets, and sparks flew off the metal underneath. It did a rolling burnout across the lot, spraying tire bits and flames behind it like a And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, a Nissan GTR rolled in, launched straight into a burnout, and pulled a full 180-degree spin mid. People jumped, screamed, ran after the car with phones out. It was carnage, but beautiful, thrilling carnage. And then came the final run of the night, the one everyone will be talking about for years. A twin-turbo Corvette Z06 with over 1,200 horsepower versus a Porsche 911 turbos on race fuel. It wasn't just speed, it was pride. The Corvette roared like thunder, exhaust shaking buildings. The Porsche waited quietly, almost a calm. They launched. The Porsche jumped ahead, WD traction perfect. But halfway down the line, the Z06 came alive. It pulled so hard you could hear people gasping. The sound was beyond human, and as they neared the finish, it looked like the Porsche might hold on, but the Vet nosed ahead by inches. It was decided by a fraction of a second, and it felt like the entire world held its breath for it. That's what makes this more than racing. These cars, these moments, they aren't just metal and rubber. They're expressions of people's obsession, their time, their money, their late nights in cold garages. These aren't just cars. They're declarations of war. Muscle versus supercar. Brute force versus refined power. Tradition versus the future. And when they clash under the lights, it's pure magic. So what did we learn? That speed comes in many shapes. That horsepower doesn't care where you're from. That a kid with a turbo Civic can steal the show from a six. That no matter how fast the future comes, the past still hits hard. And that when the tires are hot, the exhaust is spitting flames, and the crowd is screaming, none of that really matters. All that matters is what's real. And what's real is what you saw tonight. If this lit a fire in your chest, if your heart beat just a little faster watching those burnouts, if you felt the goosebumps rise when the vet pulled past that Porsche, then you're one of us. You get it. This is more than a hobby. It's a way of life. So like the video, drop your favorite moment in the comments and tell us what kind of matchup you want next. And most of all, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ride with us. This is Crazy Cars and we're only getting started.